Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'll be talking about a comparative study of a novel and a play. The novel is Kafkas Castle and the play is The Blood Wedding by Lorca. So I'll be analyzing it critically, comparing and contrasting it with each other. Also in this video I'll be talking about general terms during this period, common themes. I'll be not dealing the play or the novel summary. I'll be talking about my opinion after reading the play and the novel. So this is how the video is going to be. Both the literary works I'm going to discuss belong to the modernist period. So I have listed out two specific moments under modernism which relates with Kafka and Lorca. So, lyrical modernism, I will equate lyrical modernism with Lorca's Blood Wedding, and I'll be dealing about the theme or the usage of distorted modernism in Kafka's Castle. So, modernism is generally a period which is characterized by the impact of World War. We have complex, convoluted themes, general usage of labyrinth, more absurd ideas, a quest for something new, and confusion introduced by the authors or by the playwright. Talking about Lorca's Blood Wedding. Oh my god, this is such a play which induced the curiosity in me. I was like, what will happen next? What's next? What's next? I was flipping through the pages, moving towards the end. Then I realized it has a lot of symbolisms, so I have to go to the previous pages to know what foreshadowing is done before. I have to read it again to know what Lorca had hidden in through his lyrical lullabies. So, this play is a fusion of drama with lyric. The lyrics or the lullabies in Blood Wedding actually foreshadows, gives the gist of what is going to happen next. Lorca had produced such a masterpiece with a mix of lyrics, romance, violence, realities, and some folkloric materials from the Spanish traditions. So it is a combination of lot of things you'll get from this play. Moving on to the lyrical modernism concept. So, lyrical modernism is a poetic manifestation of style in the modernism period, which was very famous around 1922. You can find this lyrical modernism in Eliot's Wasteland. Also, here we have it used by Lorca in his lullaby. This technique of using lyrics either through a lullaby or through a lamentation chorus in the form of lyrics is generally to foreshadow the happenings or to bring out the hidden emotions of the actors in the play. Coming to the lullaby and lamentation, which is a part of lyrical modernism. So, the mother-in-law in this play, she begins her conversation with a lullaby. A lullaby is generally a soothing song sung to put a child to sleep, but here it is actually the contrary of the term lullaby itself, because the song actually contains something dark, something foreshadowing. It actually foreshadows the protagonist, which we come to know only at the later part of the play. The lullaby sings about a story of a horse who refuses to drink water from a stream. But if the horse drinks water from the stream, or if it drinks the water too deep, if it goes to the extent of drinking water deep, it will lead to its death. The strong passion of the horse can be related to the passion of Leonardo, the protagonist, or it can even be related to the strong passions of the bride, which is ultimately leading to either the death of their life or to end their futures. I'll read out the lullaby from my book, which I haven't mentioned here, which is from Act 1, Scene 2. The mother in law, she begins. My baby, sweet of the great big stallion, wouldn't drink the water deep. There the waters, oh so black, where the trees grow thick and strong, when it flows down to the bridge, there it stops and sings its song. Who can say, my little one, what the water's anguish is, as he draws his tail along through that nice green room of his? Then the wife continues, go to sleep, carnation, for the horse will not drink deep. Mother-in-law, she continues, go to sleep, my little rose, for the horse now starts to weep. Horsey's hooves are red with blood. Horsey's mane is frozen. Deep inside his staring eyes, a silver dagger broken. Down they went to the river bank, down to the stream they rode. There his blood ran strong and fast, faster than the water could. Wife continues, go to sleep, carnation, for the horse will not drink deep. Mother-in-law, she continues, go to sleep, my little rose, for the horse now starts to weep. Wife, she says, Horsey will not touch the bank, even though the bank is wet, even though his mouth is hot, steaming tiny drops of sweat, to the mountains cold and hard. He should only call and neigh. Horsey's throat is hot and parched, and the river bed is dry. Oh, the great big stallion wouldn't drink the water deep, pain as sharp as coldest ice. Horse at break of day will weep. The lullaby that I read out has a lot of meanings. It has a lot of symbols. We have the symbol of water, we have the symbol of blood, we have the symbol of horse. We have a lot of symbols, and the tail of the horse, as I mentioned earlier, itself is a foretelling of what is going to happen next. It is a foreshadowing of what is going to happen next in the play. Again, in the same scene, Act 1, Scene 2, we find the mother-in-law and the wife crying, weeping, and singing the lullaby, because Leonardo leaves. He leaves somewhere which is expected or which is believed to be the mountains where the bride lives. So again, the wife and the mother-in-law, they sing a lullaby, the continuation of the lullaby, which I have mentioned here. They cry and sing, go to sleep, my little rose, for the horse now starts to weep. Lullaby, my sweet, oh, the great big stallion wouldn't drink the water deep. Don't come near, don't come in, go away to the far off mountain. Oh, the pain is sharp as ice, horse of dawn that's breaking. Now my child is fast asleep. Now my child will rest at last, for the horse will not drink deep. Go to sleep, my little rose, for the horse now starts to weep. So, here the horse, as I mentioned, clearly mentions the protagonist, Leonardo. His libido, his blood, his passions, everything is foreshadowed through this lullaby. The consequences of Leonardo's strong passions is what the rest part of the play will be about. And towards the end of the play, we have this lamentation chorus, which is again a type of lyrical modernism. So here the images of knife, There is images of weapon, images of climate, images of snow, everything shown. So this lamentation chorus, or in specific the lamentation by the mother, shows the impact of modernism, the alienation caused by the impact of modernism. Using the image of knife again and again in the play, the knife foretells how the future is going to be inevitable, how fate is going to be inevitable here in the play. We find in the beginning of the play the bridegroom asking his mother for a knife, and in the end, in the mother's lamentation, we find this image of a knife, how a small knife, how a small knife that barely fits one's hand took away the life of her son. We also have distorted modernism in blood wedding, because there is this concept of alienation by the encroaching modernization and some complex ideologies, the concept of bloodshed, impact of war, impact of machines, knife, everything again comes under the concept of distorted modernism in blood wedding. Now moving on to the novel Castle by Kafka. This is my first experience reading a complex novel or a novel belonging to the modern era. I was initially left clueless with this novel. Then I was given some introduction to the characters, a general idea of the novel in my lectures, in my EFD lectures. Then I started reading this novel. I took time to complete this novel, and then I started analyzing it with distorted modernism. What I found was this Kafkas style, that is basically the style of Kafka, which is distorted. It has a very strange, a labyrinth structure. Almost all of Kafka's novel has this Kafka style, which is actually a very surreal setting where man is put powerless before the authority, which actually portrays the existential anxiety. There is this alienation, feeling of powerlessness. It also has a autobiographical tinge of Kafka, but again it is highly impersonal in the novels. Both in Blood Wedding and in Kafka's Castle, we find a lot of characters in Blood Wedding are not given a name. They are just the bride, the mother, the bridegroom. Only the protagonist, who has a very strong passion, is given a name as Leonardo, because he signifies a lion for his passions. Here in Kafka's Castle, we find the protagonist having a name as K, and there is not anything about his name mentioned. So this again shows the modernist attitude towards the characterization. So Kafka's style, or the distorted modernism, is generally characterized by nightmarish settings in which the characters are crushed by the blind authority or a sense of clueless events. So the castle shows the real depictions of life during that period, the strange expressions of life with the complexities of life itself through every single events. How the administration or authority takes power, and how an individual is left powerless. He is left clueless. He is not able to understand what is happening. He is isolated and left alone with a lot of existential questions, which is basically the idea of distorted modernism. Finally, I conclude with Franz Kafka's quote stating the importance of reading books. He says, "Many a book is like a key to unknown chambers within the castle of one's own self." Thank you. Do like and subscribe if you like my video.